Ashley Westbrook. I'm doing speech 2 for Communications 101. There's my note cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and there's my audience members. Okay, so growing up, I would be going to my friend's house all the time, and sometimes my mom would tell me, don't drink the Kool-Aid. What? Why wouldn't I drink the Kool-Aid? Kool-Aid's delicious. We all love Kool-Aid as kids. So I never understood what she meant by that. And then I learned about, when I went to school and in class, we learned about the history of Jonestown. It actually included the deaths of over 900 people by the hands of one man who was very manipulative named Jim Jones. He had poisoned grape-flavored Kool-Aid that he made all these people drink, and it was laced with cyanide. So he was born James Warren Jones in 1931 in Crete, Indiana. His father was a disabled World War I veteran, and his mother she worked many different jobs. He was left alone at home a lot through his childhood, and by the age of 10, he would attend church with his neighbors, also befriending ministers. This is where his pursuit of religion really came involved. He invested in learning so much about religion that he would teach the other children in the community about this religion. After his parents split, he moved to Richmond, Indiana, where he continued his studies, and he did not have very many friends. And his interest in religion and death became more and more. So all his neighborhood all the neighborhood people thought he was the weirdest kid ever. He graduated high school with honors, and then he went to University of Indiana, where he met Marceline Baldwin as an orderly working in a hospital, and she was a nurse there. Then, after his first semester in college, they got married in 1949. They moved to Indianapolis, where they adopted many children of different race, and he ended up calling him the Rainbow Family. So in 1952, he became a student pastor at Somerset Methodist Church. His reputation was about him being a healer and an evangelist, where he would preach his faith on Christianity. The church did not agree to his teachings, so he decided that he needed to leave this church in order to pursue an opportunity of his own religion. In 1955, he created what was called the People's Temple. They were affiliated with the Disciples of Christ with over 1.5 million members. They did not supervise his preaching, so he decided that he would preach about what he believed in, which was racial equality, Christianity, and socialism. He gained more followers by airing sermons on an AM radio station, with his goal of diversity, of non-judgment against race, sexual orientation, and religion. This gave people a sense of belonging. Because of the racism in Indiana, he believed that this wasn't the home for his congregation. So he decided to move to Northern California, with his headquarters being in San Francisco and going all the way down to San Diego. They moved there in the mid-1960s. More than 100 members followed him from Indiana to California, where he gained more than 20,000 members in California. He preached about the discouragement of sexual and romantic relationships between the members, but he also had relations with other women who he had 2 other children with, along with his wife and his children, his family. He also would preach about donating all the members hard-earned money to this charity that they thought was a great cause, but he ended up pocketing the money in all it was $26 million. In 1971, he was accused by the U.S. government and of the people of California of financial fraud, physical abuse of the members, and mistreatment of children. Jones' paranoia grew so much that he decided he needed to take his congregation to somewhere different where they would have a social utopia for his members, where they had no judgment of what was going on. So there was also a well-known magazine in California that decided they wanted to publish an article on him and how he mistreated and took advantage of these people, but he was so threatened by it that before they could publish it, he moved his congregation to Guyana in South America, where he called his compound Jonestown. He would do drugs and alcohol, where his paranoia grew even more. So he hired gunmen. He hired armed gunmen to patrol the ground so that nobody could leave. He would force the people to work 12-hour days, and go to night school to learn about socialism. If they disobeyed, he would torture them, and he even threatened people to drink poisoned juice in order to test their loyalty, which they ended up doing, but of course it wasn't poisoned. They didn't die then. Many families from California grew very worried about their members in Jonestown, so they reached out to the U.S. government, and U.S. Senator Leo Ryan went to Jonestown with a film crew to see what was actually going on in this place. While he was there, he received letters and quiet requests from the members asking them to escape this place because they were scared. 16 members ended up fleeing with Jones to an airstrip where they were ambushed by gunmen sent by Jones. 5 of them were killed, including Leo Ryan, and 11 were injured. He then told his members of the government of his community that because of the death of Leo Ryan, he was going to the U.S. government was going to take the temple away from him. So they decided that they all needed to go with each other. The adults were forced to make kids drink cyanide and Valium-laced Kool-Aid first, and then the adults were made to either drink the Kool-Aid, be shot, or injected with the cyanide. Jones was actually found in his main pavilion with the main members of his group. He had been shot in the head, and his other main group members were either poisoned or shot. So it's crazy to me that an innocent drink such as Kool-Aid that has been so popular over the years with children and adults, that this one thing could kill over 900 members or 900 innocent lives. From a manipulator who went insane and was so controlling. He attracted members from a diverse group of people that felt a sense of belonging in this community, that they were so scared that even if they wanted to leave, they couldn't, because he manipulated them into staying in a place where they had a sense of belonging. So at the end, he actually feared being isolated from the only place Jones felt so threatened that his creation would be destroyed, maintaining control by ending his life's work. So he made this mass suicide of all these innocent lives, and that was his ultimate success. Thank you.